Hello everyone. Welcome to the course of Automotive Manufacturing Processes and Technology. Myself, Vimal Salot from LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. In this session, we are going to discuss about capstan and turret lathe and introduction to NC and CNC machine tool. Capstan lathe is also known as ram type lathe and turret lathe is also known as saddle type lathe. If we compare both of these lathe machine, capstan and turret lathe, then we found that the tailstock of engine lathe is replaced by the component which is known as the turret. This component is known as the hexagonal turret. It has 6 faces and on each faces we can mount a cutting tool. So hexagonal turret carries 6 cutting tools. About construction of capstan and turret lathe, it consists of a headstock, bed, spindle, work holding device, carriage assembly, tool post, and hexagonal turret mechanism. Now let's see particular capstan lathe construction and working. So here this hexagonal turret is mounted on a stationary slide. This stationary saddle is mounted on the machine bed base. So this saddle remains stationary, but on the top surface of this stationary saddle guideways are provided, and on those guideways this component which is known as a ram is mounted, and hexagonal turret is fitted at one end of this ram. So by operating this hand wheel in photographic view, this assembly is shown here. On the machine bedways, this saddle is stationary, and on this saddle this ram is mounted, which is a movable part, and at one end of this ram this hexagonal turret is fitted. By operating this hand wheel we can move this ram, but movement of this ram is limited because it depends on the length of the guideways on this saddle. So as per the length of the guideways this ram can be moved. Okay, and this part is known as the carriage assembly. It carries two tool posts, one at front face and second on the rear side. On front face it can carry 4 cutting tools which may be indexed at 90 degree. So one by one it can be come into operation. At rear side the rear tool post carry one cutting tool, and that is particularly parting tool which can be used for complete parting of the workpiece. This headstock is heavier in construction as compared to engine lathe, and it provides wider range of the spindle speed. Now let's see turret lathe or saddle type lathe. Here this part this part is known as the saddle, and it is a movable part. In block diagram it is shown here. It is a movable saddle, and on this movable saddle this hexagonal turret is directly fitted. So it is a hexagonal turret which is directly mounted on this movable saddle. The saddle can be moved by operating this hand wheel. So here it is shown here. When we operate this hand wheel, this entire saddle can be moved on the guideways. It is a carriage assembly. it is headstock, and it is the work holding device chuck. The common point for capstan and turret lathe is that it does not consist of a lead screw, but engine lathe consists of a lead screw which can be used for thread cutting operation. In case of capstan and turret lathe, thread cutting operation can be performed by using a die. Now let's see what is the difference between capstan and turret lathe. So capstan lathe, in case of capstan lathe, it carries hexagonal turret on a ram. Hexagonal turret is mounted on a ram, and ram is fitted on the slot on the short slide. But in case of turret lathe, hexagonal turret is directly mounted on the saddle. Capstan lathe is lighter in construction and suitable for small size diameter bar work, but turret lathe is heavier in construction and it is suitable for larger diameter or for the chucking work. As we have seen, ram is slightly overhung, so it provides less rigidity. But saddle, in case of turret lathe, saddle can move on the entire bed, so it is supported throughout its movement and it provides more rigidity. Next point is, because of limitation of ram, tool travel is also limited. As we discussed, it is limited to the length of the guideways. But in case of turret lathe, the entire assembly can move on the entire bedways, so it provides full length for the travel. Next point is, as ram is a lighter part, it offers less fatigue to the operator. But in case of turret lathe, the entire assembly is moving on the bedways consisting of a hexagonal turret, so it provides more fatigue to the operator. Now let's see introduction to NC-CNC machine tool. NC machine tools are defined as the machine tools in which the various functions are controlled by letters, symbols, and numbers. In case of NC-CNC machine tool, part programming is provided, and that programming is read by machine control unit or by the computer program, and in turn it controls all the functions of a machine. In case of NC-CNC machine tool, one or more function can be automatic, that is spindle speed of the machine, so controlling of the spindle speed, then starting and stopping of the machine, then positioning of the tool at particular location and guiding it on the particular way, that also be automatic, controlling the feed rate of the cutting tool and changing the tools. So these are the some functions. Among these functions, some functions may be automatic in case of NC-CNC machine tool. Now let's see what are the components of NC machine tool system. So first component, that is part program. Part program is nothing but it is a set of instruction or statements which is provided to the machine. The part program or set of instruction is entered on the tape in the form of the holes. So these holes are punched on the tape, and this tape can be read by the tape reader. So next part is machine control unit. The program tape is read by the tape reader and the controller takes input from the tape reader. Next part is machine tool. So machine tool is operated by the controller of the machine control unit. So these are the basic parts of NC machine tool system. But about CNC machine tools, it consists of a dedicated computer which can be used to control the all functions of a machine. So Computer programming is required in case of CNC machine tool. So entire program is entered and stored in computer memory, and the machining cycle for each component is controlled by the program which is contained in the computer memory. So the main components of CNC machine tool system are input and output unit, microprocessor base control unit, memory, feedback unit, machine tool, and human machine interfaces. So what are the advantages of NC-CNC machine tools? Are reduced cycle time, complex machining operation can be performed easily, high degree of accuracy. It provides less inspection requirement. It reduces the scrap and wastages, increases productivity, lower tooling cost, reduction of human error, greater operation safety, greater operation efficiency, operator skill level is reduced, but there are some disadvantages also, like initial cost is very high for NC-CNC machine tool, and its maintenance cost is also high. It requires skilled programmer, and high utilization of machine tool is required, as to produce one part it is not economical, but if we want to produce a same part in large quantity, then it may be economical to use NC-CNC machine tool. Thank you very much for watching.